So Trump gave a speech at the World Economic Forum, and I didn't have the chance to listen to the entire thing, but I listened to most of it, and it's a fun speech. He is saying things that Europeans are not allowed to say. He's talking about how Europe has really fallen. I mean, it hasn't fallen in the sense that it's over for Europe, but it has fallen from where it used to be 30 years ago. And talks about the scams like the Green New Deal, like this whole green tech, which, I mean, it has potential in some circumstances. If you live in a desert, you can put solar panels up and you might get, some bang for your buck. But in most cases, I mean, you put solar panels throughout Germany or anywhere else in Europe for that matter, when it's cloudy most of the time. Of course, Germany makes a lot less energy than what they used to when they were using coal and natural gas for power. Solar doesn't make any sense in Europe. Wind, causes all kinds of environmental problems. It doesn't operate when you have, for example, freezing rain. And it's not useful for most of the world either. For example, I live in Florida. You wouldn't use windmills in Florida because, unless, we get maybe a storm or a hurricane, which in case you'd have to shut those down anyway because the winds would be too strong. You wouldn't do that here. Now, you might do that in some places like on the coast of like the Netherlands, where traditionally they do have windmills because they do have a lot of wind. Something like that might make sense. But for most of the world, it doesn't. But that's a whole issue. He's talking about immigration and how that's not good. He's talking about the failure of essentially Keynesian economics. He's talking about bad fiscal policies that governments are trying to create growth in their GDP by expanding their government sector. Any bit of common sense would tell you that government is inefficient. It's not productive like the private sector is. So, of course, you increase the government, you're creating all kinds of other deeper economic problems, especially in the long term when you do that. So I'm very happy that he made that speech. I'm happy he did it so that people around the world can see that and get to hear it. Then people in their respective countries can say that their emperor has no clothes.